The Princess of the Springs. Once upon a time, the moon giant who was called Munaro was strolling through the barren lands of the moon when he suddenly caught sight of the beautiful giantess of Earth called Blula. Munaro at once fell in love with her and decided to propose to her. He jumped from the moon and landed on Earth. He knelt down in front of her, holding a tree like a flower, and announced his love for her. Blula was very impressed with him. She smiled. Munaro had won her over. Munaro built her a wonderful palace by the great river. It was the most beautiful palace on Earth. Blula was very happy. Soon, the baby of Blula and Munaro was born. The giant hermit who had come to bless her announced,
"She will be the princess of all the springs and will rule over all the rivers and lakes. I name her Princess Spring."
Blula and Munaro were very happy. As the beautiful Princess Spring grew older, many suitors came to sing her praises beneath the palace windows, but she favored none of them. She was so happy living in her own lovely palace with her own dear mother that she did not care at all for any suitor. No other daughter ever loved her mother as Princess Spring loved her mother, Blula. One day, Solaris, the sun giant, came to woo her. When Princess Spring saw him, she was astounded as Solaris was the most handsome man that she had seen. "Wow! He is so handsome!"
Hey there, you beautiful Princess Spring. My name is Solaris, and I have come to you to ask for your hand in marriage. I am in love with you.
Princess Spring at once became sad. "Oh, mighty Solaris, you're so handsome and wonderful. I am in love with you too, but I cannot leave my mother because I love her more than anyone else. I am sorry." Dejected, Solaris left. The next day when the sun rose, Solaris came back to the palace again and called out for Princess Spring.
Oh, beautiful Princess Spring, please come and talk to me.
Hearing his voice, Princess Spring at once came out. "Oh, Solaris, I am so glad to see you."
And I am glad to see you too, Princess. And I have come to tell you that it is impossible for me to forget you. I simply cannot stay away from you. But I also understand your love for your mother. Hence, I have come with another proposal.
"And what shall that be?"
Marry me. Come with me to my kingdom. Stay with me for 9 months every year, and for the remaining 3 months, you could come to your mother and stay here with her.
Princess Spring smiled, for she quite liked Solaris's proposal. She agreed, and the wedding was held at once. After the wedding, she bid farewell to her parents, and she left with Solaris. A few days after the wedding, Munaro went up to Blula.
Hey, love. It is time for me to go back to my kingdom to take care of my people.
"But what about me? Am I to stay here all by myself?"
Darling, I have always asked you to come with me, but you never do. You do not want to leave your palace. That is the reason why I built it in the first place. Remember?
"Yes, I do not wish to leave Earth. You go on. I will wait for you here like every year." They hugged each other, and then Munaro left. After that, Blula became lonelier. Months passed, and one day, out of monotony, Blula decided to take a walk into the deep woods beyond the great river, unaware that Crystal, the ice giantess, awaited her. When she reached the deep woods, Crystal appeared in front of her.
"Welcome, Blula. You took a while to come out of your territory."
"Who are you?"
"I am Crystal, the ice giantess, and I am here to take over you. Freeze!"
At once, Blula was covered with ice and froze.
The earth is now mine!
And soon the earth was covered with ice. The rivers froze, the flowers disappeared, and the animals shivered. Munaro was informed about this by his wise minister. He at once asked his wise minister to arrange for a meeting with Solaris.
Sire, you should meet Solaris secretly so that Crystal is unaware of your meeting. If she finds out, she will take preventative measures against you.
You are right. What do you suggest then?
The wise minister suggested an idea that impressed Munaro.
Brilliant! This is what I shall do.
Later that day, Munaro moved the moon and placed it right in between the sun and the earth. This caused an eclipse, and the earth went completely dark. Munaro met Solaris and Princess Spring midway and explained everything to them. Princess Spring was terrified. "Mother, no!" Seeing his wife horrified, Solaris was furious.
I will melt Crystal with my fury. Munaro, move out of the way.
Munaro nodded and moved out of the way. Solaris unleashed his fury upon Crystal, and soon all the ice started to melt.
What is happening? Why is all the ice melting?
The rays of the sun were too powerful for her. She at once understood that it was Solaris.
All right! Stop!
I am not going to stop until you set Blula free.
I will set her free, but I have a condition.
I don't think you understand. Either you set her free or I melt you completely. There are no conditions.
Fine, go ahead. Melt me. But remember, melting me will cause great floods all over the earth, and that will take you eons to fix.
Solaris was stunned. She is right. We cannot melt her. Ask her what her condition is. Solaris fumed in anger.
Fine. What is your condition?
I will leave for now, but every year when Princess Spring returns back to you, I want my reign on Earth for all the 9 months.
That is absurd. 9 months of freezing cold temperature will harm Earth. What would be even left for me to give to it when I return? Crystal thought for a while and then said,
Okay, fine. 7 months then.
Where do you think our newborn son Monsoon is going to go for his adventures? We have decided to send him to his grandmother's palace every year for 3 months so that he can learn all about Earth and shower his rains upon it.
Oh, come on now, a baby?
He is no ordinary baby. He is the son of Solaris and Princess Spring.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. 4 months, and that is it.
2.
4.
2.
4.
All right, stop both of you.
But darling, I am only trying to...
Yeah, I know, but my mother is literally a statue there. 3 months. You get 3 months every year. Take it or leave it.
Okay, fine. I will see you all next year.
Saying so, she disappeared into a thin line of cold wind and left. Princess Spring at once reached Earth, and as soon as she stepped on the grass, the ice disappeared. The river started flowing again, the trees had fruits, and the animals joyful. Earth looked beautiful. The ice coating from Blula disappeared, and she was free once again. Mother! Spring, my daughter, you came for me? The two hugged each other, and Princess Spring explained to her mother everything that had happened. My daughter, my husband and son-in-law have done right when I was trapped. I am so lucky. And do not worry, as far as Crystal is concerned, I will embrace her for 3 months. But tell me, what is the good news that you are going to give me? Mother, I have given birth to a son. He is going to be the Giant of Rains. We have named him Monsoon, and he will come visit you every year for 3 months. Oh, how wonderful! I am so happy, my child. And so that's how it went. Every year, Princess Spring would come for 3 months to visit Blula and the Earth blossomed. Then Solaris would come to take her back to his kingdom, bringing with him summer on Earth. Then Monsoon would come to visit his grandmother and stay with her for 3 months. It would rain everywhere on Earth during that time. And then when he left, Crystal will come bringing winter with her for the last 3 months of the year. And as for Blula, she embraced all the seasons with love, and together under her, the Earth prospered.